Okay, coming up, it's great to have a local singer-songwriter on my show. No stranger to my show. We have Jack Goodall. Exciting times for Jack because he's got a brand new single and album out at the same time. And I probably asked this question before, but just tell me, for those who've not listened to my interview with you before, a little bit about yourself, and your music as well.
Yeah, I suppose I'm a singer-songwriter. I play solo, I play with a band as well. I've had a few albums out. This new one is it's a self-titled one. Coming at this late stage, that's a bit unusual, but it's probably my most direct one so far, lyrically, musically. I play different places. We're playing in Newport tomorrow. Played the Hare and Hounds in Birmingham last week. Yeah.
Great stuff. So local artist, singer-songwriter, and yeah, that's what it's all about, supporting independent artists as well.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you enjoy about working as a solo artist and also with a band as well?
Well, w- a lot of the things I write is just by myself, so it gives me a lot of time in my own mind, in my own imagination. But I like collaborating with people as well. That can pull you out of a quandary, musical quandary if you're stuck somewhere, or can lend a hand. It's just much more fun as well performing with other people than just solo. Traveling about with your friends is our dream, really.
Great. And notice the Fab Four in the background there. Who have been some other artists
Yeah.
you've admired over times?
Uh, yeah, there's been loads of artists. Prince is a big influence. Fela Kuti and David Bowie. There's been a lot of people that recently, more so people like John Cale, been quite influential in terms of like having a bit of a um, ambient sort of like dissonance and creating a mood with the music.
And
Some favourites of them.
has Ed Sheeran influenced you, like in a sense of like, the acoustic side of things?
Ed Sheeran, no,
Oh, okay. What do you think of like some of the
he's all right.
yeah, what do you think of some of the most recent established artists out there at the moment, like Harry Styles?
Yeah. Harry Styles, he's all right. He's probably got some of the same influences as me, but since he's done his solo stuff, I can hear elements of people like David Bowie in there. And he's from Redditch, isn't he?
Yes,
So
that's
that's where I
right.
was born,
Yeah,
Redditch. Yeah.
brilliant. And he's quite adventurous with his like, wardrobe, his like fashion sense as well.
Yes. Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
which is good. It's good to have that kind of like identity about yourself these days.
Oh, definitely. I think particularly if you do different styles of music, it's something that people can latch onto. If there's
Mm.
an image, something people have a sense of who you are and what you look like is really helpful, particularly nowadays in this sort of climate where anyone can get to your music, but there's so much to sieve through to have a sort of image that people can remember and know what you like. Yeah.
Of course. Now, as you mentioned, one of the reasons I invited you on my show, your brand new record in the machine as well. What
Well,
makes it
it's Jack. Oh, the singles. Yeah, it's the singles in the machine. Yeah, and the record's just self-titled. Yeah,
cool?
that
And
came out a few weeks ago.
yes, we've
Yeah,
got that one. I've yet to play it, but we will do. What's the kind of meaning behind this record in the machine?
in the machine. I suppose it's about questioning what's around you and being able to sort of find your own path. Follow what's true to you.
And in the machine as well, the record features like impressive drum beats and that synthesizic sound.
Yeah,
Did you
there's a synth. I think it's a MIDI synth on there. Yeah, um,
did
yeah.
going into the recording studio? How was it? Using this latest technology to help you get the sound you wanted on this record.
Well, the drum beat wasn't anything. We didn't use any particular technology. He's just a really great drummer. But it almost sounds a bit like a sample or something. I can't remember what song. I think it was something from the '80s that was used on what's that Dizzy Rascal song? Fix Up, Look, fix up look fix up look sharp. And after a while, we were like, oh yeah, it's that sort of beat again, you know. So it almost is like a sample of that, but that's not what we were aiming for. But I love that rhythm.
And with the cover art as well, I do like to mention, a little bit about the cover art. So I think it's important. On the in the machine, you got that
Yeah,
watercolor effect. Do you like kind of dabbling in, graphics?
I'm really poor at it, but I've friends that are really good at it, so they help me out. I like experimenting with different visual things, different visual ideas, but I'm probably getting better at describing what I can see over the years. But I'm still very, you know, it's not. I just sort of tell people like, oh, I've got this idea, and people do the best they can. The album cover was from I think it was a very I was very bleary-eyed one morning, going past an estate agent's, and it was all white and red, and it seemed like such an inhuman environment. Someone sat there by themselves in an office. So that's what I did for the album cover, but really exaggerated it, so it seems really alienating.
I can relate. Um,
Can you?
I've got a train of thought. I'll tell you after the interview. Yeah, the In the Machine's a lead single from your
Yeah.
self-titled album, Jack Goodall. When people get that stage where they release an album, where they self-title the album, do you feel it's kind of like a good moment, like a pinnacle? When you name an album after yourself, you kind of reach where you wanted it to be at.
Well, for me, I think so, yeah, because it there's no everything on the album is exactly what I wanted to say. It's very just to the point, and it's very concise. It's not very long, um, and it sort of is very intimate. I did think about calling the album "Overbearing, Oversharing," but that sounds like a stand-up comedy tour to me. But it sums up the album,
Hmm.
and yeah. But Saint Vincent did an album called Saint Vincent, which is my favorite of hers, and I think for her it was that point of really getting everything in focus and being saying everything exactly how she wants to say it. Yeah.
Two questions in one here. How many tracks are on your new album, and what can the audience expect from it?
Well, there's only eight, um, but a lot of them are quite more sort of pop based than some of my previous stuff or whatever pop music is. Um, it involves more electronic elements, MIDI, and also some harder rock as well.
And do you have a personal song on there, one which kind of, means a lot to you?
Oh, means a lot. Well, uh, there's the first song called "The Party" was written when I was at a friend's house that we love to go to in Cheshire, and that brings the memories back of when I was there. So that's feels sort of nostalgic, but also um wild, like a good party can be. And yeah, and probably my favorite song is the last one, "Blue is the Warmest Color," but um that's inspired by the film, not from me personally.
And exciting times for you. You're gigging as well, which is good to hear. You've had a number of gigs, or you've got some gigs coming up, like say the Coventry Cathedral, and
Oh
you got
yeah.
you got Shrewsbury in the springtime as well. Nice parts of the
Yeah.
Midlands as well. What are you most looking forward to, going on the road again?
Well, Newport tomorrow is going to be good because it's Le Pub, which is a fantastic venue. Last time we played there, it was a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to that in the immediate. We just added another show in Birmingham in the Victoria in on the well, it's in June anyway, sometime in June. So I'm looking forward to doing that because the shows that we've done in Birmingham seem to be building more and more. It's more exciting,
Yeah.
you know,
Do
every
you
time.
find, but do you find Birmingham's finally kind of opening its doors to live entertainment. A lot of, these pubs are putting on, acts.
In recent years, it's been good. I think there might be something to be said for they've got to have something there, so they may as well just, that there's more like live music, I think, instead of like just DJ nights and this sort of thing. So I think people are just recognizing there's venues want to get a good reputation for putting like quality stuff on, well, which I hope we
Yeah,
qualify as.
agreed.
So yeah, for me. It's got easier the book for booking shows. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more going on. But
What's it
maybe
like?
that I don't. It's probably to do with the economy. We'll see
It
how that
is.
goes.
It is. And what's it like to get like, positive reviews, from local newspapers? Do you find them quite supportive, like the local, music magazines and what song
Yeah, it's
guides?
great. Yeah, yeah. I used to do more of that sort of thing. I'm not really. Uh, yeah, it's not been something I've pursued that much, but it's always great when you hear
Because
people saying,
Guy
yeah.
Garvey says your music's beautiful. He likes it as well.
Yes, that's a high profile one, Guy Garvey, and I'm a fan of his, so that was nice that he said that on the radio.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
just throwing it back to like the editorials, I really do miss like, the What's On magazines. You could just pick them up from a shop and like just look what's on. Oh yeah, that's what I do this weekend. I'll go and see him or that band.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
do you,
don't see as much of that printed press nowadays.
yeah.
I used to love the NME. I used to get that, and yeah, that was good. It really get you a sense of yeah, what's happening. Yeah.
Brilliant. So on the album, you've worked with like collaborators, and you got some shows on the way. And my next question was, who would you most likely would most like to open up a show for? But I'm saying that you are really kind of like doing your own thing at the moment. You've been doing this such a long time now. Like you're more like the main act.
Well, thanks. But I'd like to do support for other people as well, but there's not usually anything that fits together very well. When I choose who can play with us, it's always great fun to seek people out and get people that are just right. But support wise, there's a band called Efterklang. I would love they're a Danish band. I don't know if that would ever happen, but I would love to support them because they put on such a great show and they're so inventive.
Mm.
Really good
'Cause
atmosphere.
when you go and see a concert, you see a support act, and you often think to yourself how their paths cross. The support act and the headline act. Does it just happen? Do they spot them somewhere or hear from it from a
Yeah,
recommendation, or is it just like potluck?
there's all sorts of methods, isn't there? Yeah, but
True,
all
true.
sorts of methods. I don't
Well,
know.
looks like you're a busy man anyway, which is good, and hope you get some support act slots, for some of the more kind of headliners out there because it is festival season that's coming up as well. So, what do you like
Yeah,
about this time of year as well?
yeah. I like to go and play a few festivals and stuff. I don't really like camping, but
Oh,
so I'll stay elsewhere if I can. But
yeah. Mm.
yeah,
And I noticed some guitars at the back there. Do you ever go like into like town centres and perform?
um, like busking. I've done a bit of busking in Worcester before.
Mm.
That was a while ago, but
How do you how
not
do you
not
find
not many.
no? How do you find the vibe
Quite
there in Worcester?
Worcester. I don't want to
So
be.
so.
It's all right. You know, I think there's some places where I see people busking and I think, oh, that's great. Places like Bath or
Mm.
Cardiff and places like that, people playing in the street there. I think that's great. Some places to me don't have as great a vibe. Just to be honest.
Yeah, no, that is honestly is best, as they say, and because you've got your run-of-the-mill high streets, with all your shops, and
Yeah.
some some towns, like Stratford, you see like someone performing,
Mm.
and then where you see other cities where you think, oh, how did he get a busker's license or something like that.
How did he get it? Yeah. Well, busking's banned in a lot of Birmingham now, isn't it? There's
Mm.
only certain areas.
You don't see
Um,
so much, I guess. And then
no,
what?
and then when you do, it's often like evangelicals or
Mm,
people. I don't know what the people with loudspeakers.
yeah.
It's
And
not what I
back
do.
back to you because this interview's
Yeah.
back Jack Goodall yourself. Where's best for people to follow you on like social media?
Um,
Websites or
yeah,
so on.
the usual places. You've got jackgoodall.com. So that's a simple that's simple, isn't it? And then it's got all the links to all the social medias. Yeah.
Mm.
So
And any final words you'd like to just say to your fans or your family, your friends, followers?
yeah, come out and see us because I think it's getting better all the time, if I do say so myself. You can check out the music online. You can buy the CDs. You don't have to, but it helps. It helps me.
Mm,
And yeah, I plan to keep progressing to do music that sort of pushes me on to the next stage. If you can support me, it's all the more exciting for me.
yeah, that's what it's about. And on your shows as well, do you sell merch as well? I know
Yeah,
one of our mutual friends, Mark, he rocks, the Jack Goodall, merch
he's got
t-shirt.
the t-shirt. I think he's
Yeah,
wearing them out because he wears them all the time. Yeah, he can get a t-shirt.
that's good because like when you're touring, you know, merchandise is such a lifeline for artists, for their revenue.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Cool. I just wanted to say thank you, for coming on my show, answering, the questions, and wishing you the very best with this album and your gigs as well. Always a pleasure, Jack.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for having me again.
And we'll get the link to your new single below, and then we'll play it on my radio show as well.
Brilliant. Thanks.
No worries.